I'd like to bring your attention to a YouTuber by the name of Our Hands Are Tied. He used to make a lot of really great videos, but then he stopped for like a year. But anyway, now he's making videos again, so I'd like to give some traffic to his channel. And the reason why I bring him up is because he drew my attention to this video that's out now that makes all of these bullshit anti-gay marriage arguments, and I just had to say something about it. So let's watch this stupid fucking thing.
Should marriage be limited to one man and one woman? Why do governments promote marriage between one man and one woman? It's not just because two people love each other. No, it's for the perpetuation and stabilization of our society. This understanding of marriage is rooted in the biological facts of nature. But do we really have any compelling reason to maintain such a narrow definition? Or has the time come for the government to revise and expand our understanding of marriage to include same-sex couples? When it comes to the behavior of its citizens, a government has only three options. It can promote, permit, or prohibit their behavior. For example, the state promotes police work, permits most occupations, but prohibits drug dealing. Why? Because dealing drugs harms society, while police work greatly benefits society. In the same way, our government promotes natural marriage, permits most relationships, but prohibits incest and pedophilia. Why? Because incest and pedophilia harm our communities, while natural marriage benefits our communities. And here's how. Natural marriage creates children. It best raises children.
The studies to which I suspect they're referring are ones that compared kids who were raised by straight married couples throughout the duration of their childhood versus kids who were raised by a gay parent plus the help of a series of same-sex step-parents. And they did find certain statistical differences between those two groups. But those differences have absolutely nothing to do with the suitability of gays for parenthood. They have everything to do with family stability. Now, why would gay relationships in general be less stable than married straight relationships? Could it have something to do with, oh geez, I don't know, maybe the fact that they're not allowed to get fucking married?
It protects women.
So we should promote heterosexual marriage because it protects women from being abandoned by uncommitted men. Wouldn't lesbian marriage do the exact same thing?
It civilizes men.
Yes, it is probably true that married men commit fewer crimes, but why would this be any less true of gay married men? They ask, how often do you see married men roaming the streets in gangs? Well, how often do you see gay men who are married to other gay men roaming the streets in gangs?
It lowers crime, poverty, and welfare, which in turn reduces government spending and deficits.
This is true, but it's because of monogamy, not because of heterosexuality. When people get married, they pool their resources and they grow their extended family so they have more people upon whom they can rely if they hit hard times. This reduces their dependence on the state. But this is no less true of gay marriages than it is of straight marriages. This is actually an argument in favor of promoting gay marriage.
In short, natural marriage perpetuates and stabilizes society. Everyone benefits from that, even those who don't get married. Now, let's look at same-sex marriage. What benefits does it provide?
Well, most of the same ones that you just said straight marriages do.
Same-sex marriage offers no benefit for society as a whole. In fact, it hurts us.
How?
Promoting same-sex marriage changes the very purpose of the civil institution of marriage. Natural marriage centers on bringing up the next generation, on raising children to become good citizens. Same-sex marriage merely validates sex partners.
Doesn't it also validate monogamy?
We know, statistically, that natural marriage creates the best possible family for children.
There's some pretty good evidence that monogamy is good for raising children, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that straight monogamy is somehow superior for raising children than gay monogamy. Even if that were the case, how would that undermine straight parenting? Keeping gay couples from getting married doesn't keep them from having kids. Allowing gay couples to get married may make it more likely that they have kids, but it would also make it more likely that those kids would be raised in stable two-parent households. Don't you think that would be better?
If we alter the primary purpose of marriage, the losers will be the children. Doesn't every child deserve a mom and dad? But what about natural marriages that don't create children? They are the exception, not the rule. The only relationships that do create children are between a man and a woman.
No exceptions. Surrogacy and sperm donorship do not exist.
Wherever same-sex marriage is promoted, schools subject your kids to mandatory homosexual curricula.
Yes, that's right. They're going to teach your kids to be gay.
Your business and your taxes fund homosexual relationships.
Our tax dollars also go to fund interracial relationships. Some people are opposed to that. Is it wrong to use their taxes?
Your freedom of speech is gagged.
If I ran a TV network or a publishing company and I didn't want to give a platform to someone whose views I despise, I don't think I should have to.
And your religious freedom is overruled.
People used to cite religious reasons for opposing mixed-race marriages as well. Was their religious freedom overruled?
The government has no compelling interest in legally promoting same-sex marriage. None. But we have every reason to continue to promote natural marriage. But what about equality? The law already treats everyone equally. Every citizen can marry someone of the opposite sex.
Yes, just like laws against mixed-race marriage treats everyone equally. Every citizen is allowed to marry inside their own race. Listen, in most places in the United States, if Angelina Jolie wants to marry Brad Pitt, she's allowed. If I want to marry Brad Pitt, I'm not allowed. Those are laws that don't treat Angie and I equally.
Isn't this discrimination against homosexuals? No. This discriminates against behaviors, not people.
Laws against marrying outside of your own race also discriminate against a behavior. Does that mean that they're not racist?
But what about tolerance? Yes, same-sex marriage advocates need to be more tolerant.
Yes, just like people who are okay with mixed-race marriages need to be more tolerant of the racists who oppose it, right?
Homosexual relationships are already tolerated in the US. They can already commit themselves to each other until death do them part, without government endorsement.
Listen, if one of the reasons why you think that marriage is good is because you think monogamy benefits society, then even if you're against homosexuality, if people are going to be homosexual anyway, wouldn't you prefer that they practice monogamous homosexuality? And if that is your preference, wouldn't it make all the sense in the fucking world to promote gay monogamy?